So hi Robert, introduce yourself, and I would like you to give some ideas to the students. The school is named Iteem.
Yeah, I'm Robert Scoble, and I grew up in Silicon Valley, about a mile from Apple Computer, and my dad was an engineer, and that got me into this whole technology world. In college, I met Steve Wozniak, who was co-founder of Apple Computer, and talked him out of some money for our journalism department, and on and on. And that led me on a career path to working for magazine. And that got me into blogging. Blogging got me jobs, including one at Microsoft. I worked at Microsoft for 3 years doing stuff like what you're doing, carrying a video camera around and interviewing employees inside the company and putting those videos out. And that led into a real neat career where I get to go around the world and interview startups and interview technologists. That's a tough one because there's so much you could give people advice on. The entrepreneurs that do really well, and I was just in Israel, I've been all over Europe meeting entrepreneurs. I go to La Web every year. There seems to be some common themes about great ones. Ones like that start Twitter or start Facebook or start Google. They tend to be in a space that's interesting to a large number of people. How can I find a market that is willing to engage with a new idea? You know, Google still was like the 11th search engine, right? But people were still willing to engage with a new idea there. It hadn't finished, it hadn't completed, right? And I think we're still that way with social networks. We're still trying to figure this Facebook and Twitter thing out. And is there going to be another one? Well, Google Buzz just came out. Is there going to be another one after that? Maybe. There's lots of companies trying to make interesting things for that. So that's my first advice is I call them battlefronts. You know, find a battlefront that people are engaged with, that TechCrunch will write about, that there's going to be buying opportunity. You know, a new device is going to get hot, and people are going to want to try something like it. You know, Xbox Natal is coming out this fall, which is a gesture-based video gaming system. You put a little camera on your Xbox, and then you play like this, right? Well, there's going to need to be games for that. And so if you have an interesting idea for a game for Natal, you'll have a year to sell it, right?
Seems to be about innovation, but to innovate you need to dare, right?
Well, it's innovation, but it's innovation on a place where there's market. And a lot of people don't quite understand and get to that point. Here you get to see the bleeding edge of the market, right? The other reasons that people tell me they move here is capital, so access to people who are willing to invest in your weird idea to change the world of Twitter or change the world of the iPad or change the world of computing. And there's not many places in the world you can find capital that will invest in new ideas, new companies to do new things. And then there's the talent piece, right? If you do get lucky, you get the capital, you get the company, and you are in the right spot, right time, and you start getting big, you're going to start realizing that you need talent. But at first you need to get to the first step, which is start a company.
What should we say to people who are scared to start from nothing?
Get over it. This world, you can create something out of nothing, right? You can be that Russian teenager who has nothing and creates chat roulette and gets 20 million users in 3 months. He didn't have any venture capital. He didn't have any co-founders or a CTO or a marketing budget. He just did something on the computer that interested him, and it went viral. And he built it in a way that allowed him to make it viral without spending a lot of money. So get over it, get over your fear of trying to do something. If you have a really interesting idea, you have to implement it and iterate on it, because you're not going to get it right the first time. You need to listen to the market. You need to listen to your users. And Eric Ries has a whole methodology called Lean Startup.
If we really believe the world needs to change in an urgent way, then I don't understand how we can afford to be engaged in a faith-based initiative. I don't understand that. If we have assumptions that are essential to the success of that vision, we owe it to ourselves, we owe it to the world to test them against reality, to see what actually is possible, and, of course, to stop wasting people's time.
Good luck for the future, you 10 students.